Everybody, welcome to my channel, Be Free Now with Maria. My professional background is in psychotherapy, and I created this channel with the hopes of helping you experience some form of emotional freedom. This channel is not designed to give you psychological advice, but rather to help expand your perception by helping you become more aware of your beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. The mind is fascinating, and through psychology, we're able to make connections, become more self aware, reprocess trauma, and change old patterns. This is helpful stuff. However, I believe that there's a spiritual element to life, and that when we leave this part out of the equation, we are left spinning our wheels. When we incorporate a divine belief into our daily lives, a deeper shift happens. Therefore, I like to process life with cognitive awareness and a spiritual perspective. That being said, today I want to talk about the belief that someone has done something wrong to us. Whenever we interact with somebody and they do something and it doesn't feel good to us, the default is they've done this to me or they've done something, right? And we blame them. And the moment we blame them for something, anybody, or a situation for something, we leave ourselves helpless to a certain extent, right? Because they've done something and we have no control over them, or the situation is like this and we have no control over it. So we are left feeling helpless in some way, and then it leaves us feeling emotionally heavy, right? We feel yucky, we feel angry, sad, frustrated, and a bunch of other emotions can come up for us. So this belief, right, that someone has done something to us takes us down a road that doesn't empower us. Now, this is not to say that somebody hasn't done something that maybe could have been kinder, or wasn't, so mindful of you, or that the circumstances are, less than desirable. What it means is that what other people do, it's about them, and how we feel is about us. So if, yes, they did XYZ, but we feel ABC, ultimately we have to address ABC, because we have no control over XYZ, meaning their action, right? We only have control over ourselves. And the more awareness we have about how we're feeling, the less helpless we feel. Because once we are able to make connections about what's happening within ourselves, then we can contemplate ways of A, bringing ourselves to a better feeling place, and B, changing some of the external stuff that isn't really working for us. Not so much changing what somebody else did, but the external circumstances that don't feel so good to us, whatever that may be. So when we look at, the situation from we think of it from a different perspective, meaning that we're not thinking about it as they did this to me. And because they did this to me, I'm so angry and this is why everything is the way it is. We want to pull back and say, all right, they did this, it did cause this, but ultimately it is up to me how I choose to feel about this, and what I want to learn from it, and how I want to move forward from it. Or we can get stuck in it and then just be trapped in this helpless place and in this frustrated place, and then just feel even worse and worse and worse. And ultimately, that's not what we want for ourselves. Generally speaking, we all want to feel good. But in order to be able to feel good, right, we have to recognize that, wait, we have a belief that's holding us back from feeling good. And I'm saying something to myself, I'm believing something that doesn't empower me or leaves me a victim to another person, meaning that our joy is contingent upon this other person or this situation. And ultimately, we can create joy for ourselves regardless, or peace for ourselves regardless of what somebody else did and what they caused because of it, because we have that power within us. Now, yes, this is more of a cognitive approach, right, that I'm discussing right now, but there's also a spiritual perspective that can be brought into the mix, which is that if you do have a divine belief, then bringing that into the mix. So whatever you say to yourself to bring yourself out of that situation, incorporate a divine perspective, right? A divine belief, which is, let's say, for example, you are thinking, they did this to me and I'm tired of feeling like this. And, I'm going to explore, why am I feeling like this? Why have I been feeling so heavy lately? right? Now you started the question like that, or you've said something to yourself and then you add something else to it. I don't know what's been going on, and I don't know why I've allowed this to happen, or I'm not sure of anything right now, but I trust you, God, to walk with me. I trust you, God, to support me. I trust you, God, to show me the way. And now we are not just focusing on what's happening within us from a cognitive perspective, but we're also incorporating a divine belief that can support us and make us feel like, okay, we're not alone on this journey, right? That we have this unseen divine energy that surrounds us and supports us. And then another shift happens, right? We don't feel alone. Like I said, we don't feel alone anymore. We feel like we start to feel like we have someone walking with us. And whenever we feel supported, we automatically feel better. When we feel alone, we automatically feel more stressed, lower in mood, more scared, more frustrated, and so forth. So something to think about. But before we end, I want to pick a word from my bag of words and see what else I'm inspired to share with you today. Let's see, what do we have? Boredom. Okay, now this is getting weird because I have gotten this word. This is the third time I've gotten this word, boredom. So this is interesting because I'm not feeling bored, and you're probably not feeling bored either. So how can I incorporate boredom? So boredom is interesting because whenever we feel bored in general, it's because we're not doing something that we really want to do. Sometimes if we're just forcing ourselves to go through life, meaning like, I got to get this done, I got to get that done, we could feel bored, right? But when we're doing things that make us come alive or feel good inside, we're not going to feel bored. And so when I invite you, right, to question this belief, it's actually to bring you outside of that boredom state, because whenever we're just functioning on automatic pilot, we're more than likely to get bored. But whenever we're exploring a deeper understanding of ourselves, we're going to get intrigued. We're not going to get bored. We're going to get intrigued. We're going to get intrigued to learn more about ourselves so that we can take our power back. See, we can't take our power back if we keep on thinking the same thoughts, right? We have to start asking ourselves other questions, start questioning certain things, and then we can start getting intrigued and less bored and more motivated to learn more. And the more motivated we are, the more we're able to create. And here what we're trying to create, right, is a broader perspective and a different way of looking at things so that we don't feel so small or helpless and so forth. So that's what I have to share regarding boredom. I hope that helps you as well. May you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.